That feeling when you are behind, when you feel, maybe like you've joined a program. We have a lot of people who take part in our courses and they always feel behind. Or during Best Year Yet, I don't know if you took part in Best Year Yet. We ran amazing workshops in January where we started to really create a vision for our future, and we wanted to create big goals that stretch ourselves. And I wanted to touch base with you all about this feeling of being behind and this feeling that you're not working fast enough, because it's something that I've been feeling and also I've been seeing in my community as well. So I wanted to talk about this today in case you're feeling the same. Because when we create a big dream for ourselves, and I've created my vision board and I have all these big ideas and big dreams. And when I started to this year really think about what I wanted to achieve, for me, this year I wanted to push myself more than ever. So I know that I'm spending this year trying to see how far I can push myself, which is crazy. But with that then is this feeling of overwhelm, but I'm weirdly enjoying it because life is overwhelming. Life is challenging. It doesn't matter what you do. There will always be something that makes us feel like we're behind or feel like we're not working fast enough. So for me personally, I'm pushing myself this year so I can learn how to handle these feelings. And that's what I wanted to share with you. I'm not suggesting that you do the same, but what I wanted to talk about today was brought up in a studio session that I was running on Friday. So I've got a group of members of United Art Space, and every Friday, it's lovely, we all get together and we make art together. We have a studio session, and it's lovely because you can see all the workstations of where people are making art, and we just get down to work, and it's really lovely. But every now and again we have a little chat, and Michelle, who is one of our members, came on and said, I took part in Best Year Yet and it was really good. It got me really excited. But now I'm like back into the real life. I feel that I'm not achieving those goals, and I'm not. And I think she used the words like, I feel like I'm falling behind. And we had a really good chat about it. And that's why I wanted to talk about it today, because I myself as well, a couple of weeks ago, started to feel, well, I was unwell, and I started to feel unwell, and I started to not be able to train. And of course, those who know, when I was doing Best Year Yet, I decided to sign up to a big challenge climbing the equivalent of Everest this year. So I'm training. And the reason I took part in that challenge was to do something that's difficult and be comfortable with difficult. Because I'll never forget someone saying they took part and they were climbing. They were like, "God, this is really hard," and everyone else was like, "Yeah, it's hard. Get on with it. you just do it." And that kind of mentality was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." So I have some big projects this year. So that's one of them that takes up quite a lot of time, and the other one is writing the book. And with both of them, I created deadlines, and I created so much time to be training and so much time to be working on the book. And life takes over. And I wanted to talk about this because it's normal for these things to happen, and it doesn't mean that you're behind. So for me, for example, I literally was 3 weeks where I couldn't really do any physical exercise because I just hit a wall. I was kind of feeling unwell. I think I got COVID. The test was negative, but I had all the symptoms. And in the back of my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, no, I can't train. And everything that I've done is going out the window. And I had to really have a word with myself, because I could see how quickly you can spiral into feeling that you're not keeping up, you're not doing enough. And the same with the book. The book's a bit different because with the book, that really was me underestimating how long things take. So, for example, I set myself a goal last year to have my book written, and I've only just finished the proposal. It's taken me a year to write the proposal. Now, I could easily compare myself to everyone else who took the same course as me, writing the book proposal, who most of them now have their books out in the world. They all have published. I've just got another email yesterday saying, well done to all the people on our course who've now released their book. And it's really easy, isn't it, to look around and then feel that you're behind. But this is a massive lesson that I've learned over the years about saying, I'm behind, I'm behind. I don't say those words anymore. I don't say I'm behind anymore, because what I've realized is we're not in a race. I am not in a race with anybody to get my book out into the world. You can only be behind if you're in a race with something or someone. And I'm not in a race here. And even with the exercise, we do have to train, and we've got to train. But there was something where I started to freak out a little bit, thinking, oh my gosh, if I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to actually complete the challenge in September. And I thought, I've still got a long way to go, still a lot of time left to do this. And there was something in me that just sat and thought, just trust the process. This is what life has thrown at me. I'm sick right now. I can't do it. There's nothing I can actually do about this situation except for just relax. And when I just accepted that and just trust the process and just, whatever will be, will be. I just looked at it with a completely different outlook. And now I've started to just itch my way back in again. And I've slowly just started to go for a little jog, and I'm slowly I just went for a little hike a couple of days ago, and it was really nice to be back out in the fresh air and walking. And I realized that actually I've not missed anything. I've not gone backwards. And so it made me realize that all those weeks of fretting, there was just no point. There was no point wasting our lives worrying about these things. And so with the book situation, and I'm sure there's lots of you here that feel the same. If you've set yourself a goal, you want to be really careful that you're not letting that goal ruin your journey. So I know this sounds corny and cheesy, but it is all about the journey. One of our members, when we were talking about this on Friday, said the same. She said, I've been feeling behind. And she said, now I just realize, why am I feeling behind? Who am I behind against? It's my own demands on myself. That's what I'm behind on. And then when you realize that you are the captain of your own ship, you can move the demands, you can lift the demands. It's within you. It really empowers you then. And I know that life gets overwhelming and takes over. But for me, with the book, I keep moving the goalposts, and that's okay. And it took me a year to write the proposal, and that's okay. I'm not in a race with anybody. I'm not actually behind. And all those people that have got their book into the world, it's fantastic. It's brilliant. I'm where I am. And I don't feel behind. And I think if you catch yourself feeling behind, if you catch yourself saying those words, I'm behind, whether it's in a course that you're taking, whether it's within a goal that you've created for yourself, and you're saying, oh gosh, I'm behind, I should have done this last week. You've got to catch yourself in that moment and reframe it, because you're not behind. You're not behind. You're right where you're meant to be. It's about trusting the process. I am right where I'm meant to be with this whole book thing. Yes, I would love to have got it out there last year. I've realized it's a much bigger task. There's lots that I've had to learn. I've had to overcome loads of mindset challenges with writing a book. I've had to do a course 4 times, the same course, to get my head around it. And so I didn't anticipate for any of those things. I didn't know that I was going to have to do all of that. I thought I would just do the course and write the book. So with all these things, I've had to re-navigate. And that does not mean I'm behind, just like you. It doesn't mean that you're behind. And another thing that Michelle mentioned, which I thought was worth mentioning, especially in relation to making art, was that she said, I feel that I've been working on my website and working on other things, and then I'm not making art. And then that then fuels this anxiety, doesn't it? Because for me, writing, for example, there's things cropped up and then I've not been writing because there's parts of the book writing process that I've had to learn. Very much like being an artist, sometimes there are parts of being an artist that take you away from the art making. And again, it's trusting the process, because you can work in seasons. And this is how I see things now. And I try not to get worried about the book. I'm supposed to be writing every day, they say, write something every day. And the world swallows me up sometimes. I haven't got the bandwidth to write every day. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be able to do this, or it doesn't mean that I'm falling behind, or that I can't make this happen, or I'm never going to write ever again. And I remember Sharon at the beginning of this year going through the same thing. Sharon, my friend, who is a sculptor, and she exhibited at a big exhibition this year. And I think there was about 8 or 9 weeks where she didn't make any art. She didn't get in the studio at all. And what I really noticed in Sharon in that moment was that she just accepted it. Now, a few years ago, I think Sharon would have been freaking out, going, I haven't been in my studio, I haven't made any art. Oh, I'm falling behind. I should be making art. I'm an artist and all of this. But she didn't. She was focused on Collect. She had some stuff to do, and she just accepted it and said, I've not been in the studio. I'm not going to get into the studio. And that comes from trusting the process, trusting that whatever's happening right now, you're in the right place at the right time. And just because you're not making art right now doesn't mean that you're falling behind. It doesn't mean that you're never going to be making art ever again, or that, you're going to lose what you had. It's going to just disappear and you're going to go backwards. This is what I think a lot of people feel. I'm going to go backwards. But you're not. You're right where you are. You can stop something and you're not going to go backwards. You'll just pick up and go forwards again. So I think the big lesson in all of this that has helped me is trusting the process and knowing that I am in control, just like you are. You are in control. And it's okay to have a look at what you've set for yourself and say, this is too much. This is too much. I'm going to let some things go. I've been working with my members this last week on this very topic. We had a session together where we started to look at what we've given ourselves to do and give permission to let some things go. If it's too much, you can let things go. And I did this exercise with myself last week where things were, feeling like they were mounting up. And I'm juggling. I kept saying, I feel like I'm juggling lots of big, massive balls, lots of them. And I'm dropping some of them, and it doesn't feel good. I don't want to be dropping the balls. And so I had to just have a word with myself. I went for a walk last week, and I just had to ask myself, okay, these things that I've set myself, they're big, they're massive. Do I still want to do them? Because if they feel hard, do I still want to do them? And it's okay. Literally, I was having this conversation with myself. It's okay if you don't want to do it anymore. You can let these things go. And I really had a conversation with myself and thought about it. And actually, when I got out of the house and I was walking and I was, with the sun, and I was having my little hike up this hill, and I thought, no, I do want to do them. And as I was walking, I remembered why I've signed up to Whistler, because things are difficult. Things feel difficult, and it's about learning how to feel those moments of difficulties and learning how to embrace them and accept them and acknowledge them. And sometimes when we're doing something difficult, it takes us away from things that we really enjoy, but it doesn't mean we're going to lose that. And that's what I'm learning massively this year. I'm really learning how to work in these seasons and feel these feelings of like, oh, where's this going? And am I going to be able to do this? And oh no. So when I really asked myself, do I want to do these things? Do I want to still write this book? Do I still want to climb this mountain? These things take up a lot of my time, as well as running United Art Space and being a mum and all the things. And my answer was yes. Yes, I do. But equally, I've done this in the past. And sometimes I've gone, no, no, I don't want to do this. I remember years and years ago when I set up United Art Space, I was juggling lots of things in United Art Space, and I was doing art challenges, and I was trying to create a program to help people sell, and I was doing live sessions, and it got too much. It literally got too much, and I did the same thing where I had to ask myself, what am I willing to let go of? And I let go of a lot of things back then when I first started United Art Space. I let go of a lot. I let go of my own art making. I let go of running these art challenges. I let go of going live all the time. And I just focused on one. I brought it back down to just one thing that I focused on. And it was so liberating. It was so liberating because by doing less, we can do more in a lot of cases. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm revisiting my time and what time I have. And that phrase, do less to do more, is sitting in my mind. And even though I want to do more of these big things, I'm letting other things go in my life that are occupying my time. And I've started to look at ways that I can carve out more time in my life. So I'm looking at my week and the things that are really important to me, like picking up the kids from school and spending quality time where I'm not doing anything with them. How do I squeeze in these other things as well? And so it's really interesting because now I know that I'm dedicated to doing these big, big things. I'm having to make some shifts, like get up a little bit earlier. And I'm not, my Netflix night on certain nights, on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, are gone. Things like that. So one thing that I think is really important is to look at those big rocks, look at the big things that you're giving yourself to do, and really ask yourself, do I still want to do these? Am I putting too much pressure on myself? Do I want to let them go? And sometimes letting go is not forever. It's not, this is something to remember, that sometimes if you let go of something right now, because everything's feeling a bit heavy and everything's feeling a bit much, it's nothing to do with being a failure. It's nothing to do with saying no and that's it, you're never going to do that ever again. It's saying not now, not now. I need to release. I need to let some things go to create some space, and that is okay. It's when I look back at the things that I let go of that I really, really didn't want to let go of when I first started United Art Space, I'm doing them again now. It was almost like I just paused them for a time being, just to free up some space so I could really focus. And that was okay. And now I've come full circle and I'm doing those things again now. So again, it's about trusting the process and trusting. And I love the idea of us working in seasons. And if you're not in a season of art making right now because you're being pulled towards something else, that's okay. It's a season. It's going to come back. You'll come back to the art making, just like me with the writing. I'm at the moment, I've written 1.5 chapters of my book, which is amazing. And I'm planning on writing 3 of those chapters, and then I'm going to pause it for a little while because I've got something big that I want to work on. So I'm going to pause the book writing for a month and then go back to it. And that's okay. And I share this as well because sometimes I know some people who are making art, it gets terrifying when you stop being creative. For me, it's the writing at the moment, and for you, it might be the art making. And for me, when I've stopped making art, it's been terrifying because you're scared that you're not going to get it back again, or what's going to happen. It's trusting the process. So one final tip on this is stop saying that I'm behind. Just stop saying it. It'll be so liberating for you. You'll probably find other ways to complain about it like I do now. I don't say I'm behind anymore. Now I've found other things to say like, "Wow, I'm feeling the pressure now." And I've caught myself saying that last week. "Oh, I'm feeling the pressure, blah, blah, blah." Um, and it's funny because the more we keep saying these things as well, the more we are gonna feel the pressure. And so I think it's okay to say these things if they're helpful, but if we keep saying them to ourselves and like it's so overwhelming, it's oh my gosh, I'm behind, then you're going to feel those feelings more because where focus goes, energy flows. It's one of my favorite sayings. And I've caught myself in the last week saying it a lot and I'm going to reframe it. So, um, the other thing I was going to say, one more thing, is having a snag list. So one of the areas of your life that you can start to feel behind is the little itty bitty things that crop up in life. So, for example, this is I call it my snag list, and I recommend that you do this. So I've got big things that I'm working on, and then there's those little bit itty bitty things that can really start to weigh you down and make you feel that you're behind or that your life is becoming out of control. And I bring those little bits together in one place on one list, and it's the snag list. I'll be working on my snag list today, and then I carve out 2 hours, an hour maybe, where I just work through all those crappy little jobs that are weighing me down. For example, one of mine is I've got to reply to my son's teacher. I've got to fill in a form to apply for help for my son because he needs an assessment. Um, I've got to call the dentist back, and I've got to, all these little itty bitty things that are just annoying, and put them all in one place, put them all in one list, and then just spend an hour and just get them done. And I do that. I generally do that every week. And honestly, it frees up this feeling of like, everything's getting on top of me and I'm getting overwhelmed and I'm feeling like I'm behind. So I recommend doing that as well. That's what I'm doing this week. So I've got my snag list. I'll be spending some time getting all those jobs done today, and keep checking in with yourself on what is really, really important. What is important to you? What is important? I always ask myself, if I had 1 week left on the planet, if this was my last week, am I doing the things that are really important to me? And that's a great way of checking in with yourself. Would I have any regrets with what I'm doing right now? And if you feel like, yes, this would be what I'd be doing, then go for it. Find a way of getting it done. So, okay, so that's it. Oh, and I have some exciting news. So, we have our annual event, Your Art Matters event, coming up on the 4th of April, and it's going to run from the 4th of April to the 8th of April. And this event is all around the theme of your art matters. And we're having a theme this time around art is. And we are asking people what art means to them. And we're asking people to fill in the phrase art is. And the whole purpose of this event is to really celebrate the diversity in the arts. And I've been seeing a lot of people over the years, not just recently, but over the years, really getting in their own heads about what art is and whether they're good enough, and being blocked by art making usually because of the overwhelm, because of the fear we have around art making. So we want this week, the Your Art Matters week, to be a week of inspiration, of fun. We're going to celebrate art in all forms, and we're going to get you making, and we're going to do some drop-in art sessions together. We're going to have a daily art challenge, and we're going to do so many fun things to get you really revved up about making art. So if you do feel like you've fallen off the wagon recently and you want something fun to get involved into, then the Your Art Matters event starting on the 4th of April will be amazing for you. So I'm going to put the link into the chat, and the link will be in the comments around here as well. TJ says, yeah, art is essential. So you are in control. You are the captain of your own ship. Just remember that. Remember, I always say that to myself. I'm in control. I'm in control. When I start to lose it, I'm in control. It's such a big one to remember. So another quick example this week, as we've been doing this Your Art Matters event, there's been things like links and things not working. And, I wanted to get this link out last week, but sometimes we've got to, I say to myself, I'm in control. I am in control. Now, I'm the one putting the demands on this link being out. It doesn't have to be out. And as soon as you start to realize that, as soon as you start to let these things go, you go, oh, yeah, just take the pressure off. So I know it's easier said than done. But the more you practice it, the more you do just blow things away. So, oh, Shirley says, your chat has got me back reframing. Yeah, it's something, Shirley, that I have to do all the time. I started to lose it last week, and that's why I just get back on the saddle and I have to really think about what is it that I'm doing, where do I want to go, what's important. I'm in control. I am the captain, and I can create my own demands, and I can release these demands that I'm putting on myself as well. I don't have to have these heavy demands over my head if I don't want them. And so realizing that, and then so for me, it's been liberating last week because I've been putting these big demands over my head, and I really asked myself, do I want them? I can let them go. And when I realized that, yeah, I can let them go. And I was like, but I don't want to let them go. It really checked in with myself that actually they feel heavy, but I want to do it. I really want to do it. So, okay, that's another deep one for Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my friends. And I will see you all soon. If you want to sign up for the event, the link is below. So take care, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.